Verse 320. Of birth and no birth there are 8 and 9 kinds. Whether the attainment is instantaneous or successive, it is one realization. 321. There are 8 worlds of formlessness. Dhyana is divided into 6, and with the Pratyeka Buddhas and Buddha's sons there are 7 forms of emancipation. 322. There are no such things as the past, present, and future. There is neither permanency nor impermanency. Doing, work, and fruition, all is no more than a dream event. 323. From beginning to end, the Buddhas, Shravakas, and Buddha sons have never been born. The mind is removed from what is visible, being always a Maya-like existence. 324. Thus the abode in the Tushita heaven, the conception, the birth, the leaving, the worldly life, the revolving of the wheel, the wandering about in all the countries. A Buddha is seen doing all these things, but he is not the one born of the womb. 325. Thus, for the sake of sentient beings who are wandering and moving about from one place to another, emancipation is taught. The truth, the knowledge of the Buddha land, and the rising of things by causation. 326. Worlds, forests, islands, egolessness, philosophers, wanderings, dhyanas, the vehicles, the alaya, the attainments, the inconceivable realm of fruition. 327. Families of the moon and stars, families of kings, abodes of the gods, families of the yakshas and gandharvas, they are all born of karma and are born of desire. 328. Inconceivable transformation death is still in union with habit energy. When interrupted, death is put a stop to. The net of passions is destroyed. 329. The Bodhisattva is not to keep money, grain, gold, land, goods, kine, and sheep, slaves, nor horses, elephants, etc. 330. He is not to sleep on a perforated couch, nor is he to smear the ground with mud. He is not to have a bowl made of gold, silver, brass, or copper. 331. Let the yogin have white cloth dyed in dark blue or brownish red with cow dung or mud or fruits or leaves. 332. The yogin is permitted to carry a bowl, a full Magadha measure made of either stone or clay or iron or shell or quartz. 333. The yogin whose final aim is to discipline himself may carry a curved knife, 4 fingers long, for cutting cloth. He who is intent on disciplining himself may not learn the science of mechanics. 334. The yogin who disciplines himself in the exercises is not to be engaged in buying and selling. If necessary, let the attendant see to it. These are the regulations I teach. 335. Thus, guarding his senses, let him have an exact understanding in the meaning of the sutras and the Vinaya, and let him not associate with men of the world. Such I call the yogin. 336. Let the yogin prepare his abode in an empty house, or a cemetery, or under a tree, or in a cavern, or among the straw, or in an open place. 337. Let the yogin dress himself in 3 garments, whether in the cemetery or any other place. If anyone should voluntarily give him a garment, let him accept it. 338. When he goes about begging food, let him look ahead, not more than the length of a yoke. Let him conduct himself in the way bees treat flowers. 339. When the yogin finds himself in a large company, in the confusion of a company, or with bhikshunis, women mendicants, this is not a desirable relationship for yogins, for it means to share a livelihood with them. 340. The yogin, whose aim is to discipline himself in the exercise, is not to approach for his food kings, princes, ministers of state, or persons of rank. 341. In houses where a death or a birth has taken place, or in the houses of friends and relatives, or where bhikshus and bhikshunis are mixed together, it is not proper for the yogins to take their food. 342. In the monasteries, food is always regularly cooked, and when it is purposely prepared somewhere else, it is not proper for the yogins to take their food. 343. The yogin should regard the world as removed from birth and death, as exempt from the alternation of being and non-being, though it is seen in the aspect of qualified and qualifying. 344. When birth and death is not discriminated, the yogin before long will attain the samadhi, the powers, the psychic faculties, and the self-mastery. 345. The yogin should not cherish the thought that the world exists from such causal agents as atoms, time, or supreme soul, nor that it is born of causes and conditions. 346. From self-discrimination, the world is imagined, which is born of varieties of habit energy. Let the yogin perceive existence as always like unto Maya and a dream. 347. The true insight is always removed from assertions as well as from negations. Let not the yogin discriminate the triple world, which appears as body, property, and abode. 348. Not thinking how to obtain food and drink, but holding his body upright, let him pay homage over and over again to the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. 349. Gathering truth from the Vinaya, from the teachings in the sutras, let the yogin have a clear insight into the 5 dharmas, mind itself, and egolessness. 350. The yogin should have a distinct understanding of the undefiled truth of self-realization, and as to what the stages of bodhisattvahood and the Buddha stage are, and be anointed on the great lotus seat. 351. Wandering through all the paths, he becomes averse to existence, and, directing his steps toward some quiet cemetery, he will begin various practices.